Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today I'm reviewing the other box set I got from TJ Maxx, the Transformers Combine Wars G2 Menasor box set. Now I have reviewed most of them, mainly Blackjack, Dragstrip, and Motormaster here. I have not reviewed the mold for Dead End and Wild Rider or for Breakdown, but I don't want to review these individually really, since the other three I have reviewed before, so I'll just get to the other mold someday. So, starting with the smallest one, Blackjack. He's the exact same card mode as before, as with Hot for Rodimus and the other Blackjack, but I really do like the colors on him. These colors do look really nice. They match up really well with Motormaster especially, which is good since Blackjack becomes the chest plate, of course. And it just does look very smooth. It gives like a very Tron-esque look. That's what all these figures give me. They give me like a very Tron with all the neon colors. And also, I'm probably going to end up using them as my main Combine Wars Menasor, because I really don't like Menasor's colors, because they don't match well. Sure, these don't match either, but the neon aesthetic kind of works together. And some of the colors match, like this color on here is kind of similar to Breakdown's color. So yeah, I think they do look good. Looking at Motormaster, you will notice a difference in purple. On camera, it's showing a lot worse on camera than it is in person. On camera, you can definitely see the plastic here is a different color from the painted parts here. Although I don't think they're painted, these are plastic as well. I guess this is like transformation plastic, and this is just normal plastic. And it sticks out a lot on camera, but in person, it's not that bad. Also, since this is the third time of me reviewing this mold, this has started to bug me, just this panel sitting here. I wish they had put some hinges right here to kind of make this lay more flat against more flush with this. It really wouldn't take much, just a hinge here and a hinge here. But what can you do? I do like the paint though. We do got a painted grille right here. I wish it extended outward, but oh well. We got the headlights painted, the silver grille here, the windows. A little bit of the window there. Wish they had gone all the way forward, but I'm not sure why. It just looks like a broken window now. The sword and gun are completely painted. Nothing on the backlights, but what can you do? Or nothing on the wheels. I do wish the wheels were painted. But it does look pretty nice. It's your standard, it's the Motormaster truck mode. And now let's look at the only other mold I reviewed, Dragstrip. And I do like how this looks a lot better than Dragstrip. I never really liked the dull yellow he was in. So these really like, I guess, again, neon colors really do work with him. Mainly black and blue. It says got paint all up in here to keep the blue going, all the way down. Yellow for the seat. And you do get this tampoed on the back, kind of like a flag color, checkerboard colors, and you get some silver in there. And his wheels have been painted silver. So that's pretty nice. All the Deluxes have painted wheels, I believe. Yeah, all the Deluxes have painted wheels, just the Voyager and the... Which is classic, I understand, but really we can't get painted wheels from Motormaster. Oh well. But yeah, it's a pretty good looking race car, and I do like the colors on it. Now, for these, I'm going to review Dead End and Wild Rider here together, since they are the same mold. Only difference is the colors. And they do have different paint. They do come with these little tailpipe weapons, which make pretty good to stick on the side, and you could use both of them, put them on both sides to make it look like a really fast car. Does come with a weapon that's the same as Streetwise and Prowl's weapons. And this does look really cool. I mean, here we have Combine Wars Prowl, who's the remold. You can see there's a lot of difference between these two molds. They have the exact same shell, but the actual molding completely different all over, down to the windows. Where it's painted, where it's molded, it's all completely different. I'll get more into that when I get to like Streetwise or Prowl's review, since those are the remolds. But let's take a look at Wild Rider. Comes with the same accessories. And you can see there is a lot of differences. The hood is the same, as far as where the paint is at least. But you see the front, Dead End has this bumper painted. They have their wheels painted as mentioned. Along the sides, Dead End gets like a flame streak on top with a little of the G2 Decepticon symbol. While Wild Rider gets like an orange and black strip going along the bottom. All he does suffer for it since he has that unpaintable plastic right in the middle. Well, that's another thing. They do hide the unpaintable plastic pretty well, since there's really not paint going across the doors now. On the top, it's basically the same, just Dead End gets silver all the way around the windows, while Wild Rider gets blue on the front sides and the black in the back, and he gets this really awesome little techno thing on the top. And on the back, they're basically the same, but no paint for the bumpers, but I don't mind that. I do like that they have different paint. Not just different colors, but different spots for paint and different color schemes for their vehicle modes to help make them stand out a bit more. Finally, Breakdown, the other mode I haven't reviewed. He comes with this pretty nice weapon, although it's already got paint scraping on the clip attachment. A lot of these are starting to get paint scraping already. Like if I look at Wild Rider's weapon, you can see on the end there, the paint scrapes off. But nothing too bad. I don't understand why they really painted this over. They could have just molded in that plastic and just add the silver, and then it wouldn't be a problem. But oh well. Also has this piece for his foot/hand, and it does clip. And it's one of the only ones besides Drag Strip to have something actually specifically for his foot piece. Wild Rider and Dead End kind of just have theirs sitting on top. And you can also use the little ball joint hole there to clip in his weapon. He also has one on the back if you want to use that. But I do like this vehicle mode. It's really nice. I see why they use this for Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, even though I don't like how those look. He's got purple trim going all the way around the bottom. He's got nice silver right here for the kind of grill. It's got a similar roof or hood to how Wild Rider and Dead End had. And he's got gold windows, which helps make him stick out a bit more with the silver wheel spokes as mentioned. And he just has 94 Racing written on there. I know it's a G2 thing that the G2 toy had, but it just seems so random. That's one of my only pet peeves with Transformers. I don't care much for riding on the windshield. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, let's get to the robot modes. Alright, here they all are in robot mode. And they all look pretty good. Here's Blackjack, who really looks like a Viacon now with the purple and blue color scheme. If you switched out this blue for black, he really would look like a Viacon straight out of Transformers Prime. And he just looks really cool in it. I don't know why the blue and the silver and the purple and the black just all work really well here. And he's got a little Decepticon symbol on his shoulder, so yeah, I think he looks good in his color scheme. And no really loose joints. Drag Strip also looks really good. He has this kind of assassin look to me because of the colors. Looks like he can sneak up on somebody and just kill them without them noticing. You can destroy Autobots without them even noticing. I do like the silver on the face a lot more than the pale powder blue we got with the other one. And even the yellow on the chest looks pretty good just to help break up all the black. So yeah, overall, once again, really good color scheme. No, the knees are a bit loose, but he still stands just fine. Just a little slight bit of movement from where the slider joint is for the transformation. And yeah, his hand is loose to where he can't hold up his weapon straight, but oh well. But yeah, I do think he looks really good in these colors as well. Wild Rider and Dead End here, they have a couple of issues. Their hand joints, the hand transformation joint is extremely tight, like really tight. Same with the car roof when it's attached to the top, it's really hard to get down. Like granted, the hands on my Prowl and my Streetwise are also tight, but those are really tight, like really, really tight. And you can see there's a lot of differences with the police car mold. Like I said, I'll go over that more when I review Streetwise and Prowl, but there is a lot of differences there. There's a lot of differences between Wild Rider and Dead End. Well, one thing is, the main thing is the head, of course, and Wild Rider's head is like stuck, looking slightly off to the side. Like, it certainly works. It's slightly ball jointed. It looks all around. The joint works. It's just the placement of where the joint wants to stay is like slightly looking to the right. I'm not sure why. Like, so I could center it, but then it just does that. They basically have the same paint scheme, but they have different colors for them. While Dead End here has black on the arms, black on the arms and blue on the legs, while Wild Rider has silver for all those. And he has black on his chest and wires, while Dead End has blue. And also just where the legs are, like the scheme is the same basically, but the paint is used is different. And it's not the same scheme even really, because on Dead End his hands match his arms with the black, while on Wild Rider his hands match his legs and his arms matches the paint on his foot. So they do try to make them a bit more diversified. There's not really loose joints on them either, other than the car hood back here just kind of, on Wild Rider especially, just kind of but that could vary from your set. It doesn't do that on my prow or my, it does that a little bit on my dead end, but not quite as badly. And the other mold that I have not reviewed, Breakdown. I really do like Breakdown in this color. See, this looks really cool. You can peg his smokestacks here on the back, which is probably inspiration for how he became Sunstreak. But he does look pretty good. Nothing really to complain about with him. The only thing is his chest. The pegs on them are extremely tight to where I can't actually peg it down. I can certainly put the pegs in and the chest will actually peg in, but then I can never get the chest back up. The first time I did that, I actually started breaking the chest open from how hard I was trying to pull on it. That the two pieces that are supposed to be glued together actually start coming apart. That's how tight these are. I get that's mostly the paint, but I question why they actually painted this underneath when you're really not going to see that. I guess maybe for the combined mode, but I don't understand why they painted all the way up to here when chest plate's going to block most of it anyway. They could have saved on paint a bit. But that's my only real complaint with him. All of his joints and such are pretty good. His transformation can be a little bit finicky, but I do think he looks good, and these colors work for him pretty well. And finally, Motormaster, who I think has a really cool paint scheme here, especially with his details. Got red going through the blue to help break up some of that blue. Got purple little feet, black here, some more red, purple, and blue all mixed in here on the shoulders as well. He has just enough everywhere to break everything up. One thing is, I wish he had maybe a red streak going down his arm, or maybe some purple maybe, just something to help break up his arm, because it's the only spot where we have a big chunk of just blue. But everywhere else is fine, really. Only thing is, some of his hands are a really tight fit. Like, I tried to fit Wildrider's weapon in his hand before, and that's where the paint scrape kind of happened. For some reason, his hands are really tight, which is why I'm glad his weapons don't have silver on them, because then there'd be a lot of paint scraping, and that wouldn't be fun. And the pack is his usual backpack. So all in all, I think they do look really good in these color schemes. A couple of loose joints here and there, but that's kind of what you expect from any Transformer, let alone a box set. And for a box set, I think they're doing pretty well. He does have a loose elbow swivel, so that happens, but overall I think they're pretty good. So, let's get them to their combined mode. Alright, now we have them all combined up, and he does look pretty good to me. I do wish he had some paint on his legs like his G1, the original Combiner Wars Menasor does. Because now he's kind of got that Optimus Prime thing going on where it just suddenly changes colors halfway up and it doesn't match either this or this. But I can look past it. It doesn't stand out that bad. It does go with his color scheme around him, so yeah, I don't think anybody who doesn't like neon colors is really going to care much for this figure, but I really like it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I love how he looks. He just looks so cool to me. I really don't care much for the black chest plate, and it really is kind of loose. I mean, it really does not hang on at all. It doesn't look like anything from G1 or G2, I guess. It doesn't look like I've never seen Menasor with chest plates like that, and if this was a bit bigger, maybe I like it, but I don't know. It just seems like they had like different ideas and you just didn't do either, so I'm just going to remove that. You can see there's detail on here with a very Matrix-esque style, since he was Optimus Prime as well. I prefer just closing this up and leaving it like this, because that looks closer to how the G1 Menasor or the original G2 Menasor looked, with this kind of a car piece just sitting here. And I do like how it looks, because now you have the car grills and the windows. It just looks a bit more solid to me. As far as everything goes, the only thing I don't like is Wild Rider and Dead End both have this problem with the arms splitting slightly. Like, it's certainly holding together, but there's like a slight split. And you can also see in Wild Rider's leg, there's a split that really shouldn't be that wide. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe the same thing happens with Breakdown here. There's just a split going on. They don't fall apart or anything. There's just a line going down the middle. Direct strip seems to hold okay together, but he's also black. So he's also painted black, so it's hard to tell as well. To get a good look at the head, it's a pretty nice looking head. I mean, I gotta admit the promo shots originally from Menasor did not look good, but looking at it now, I do like how the head looks. I'll probably end up getting that upgrade set with the more G1, G2 accurate head. But the one we have here is not bad. I do like how his horns can actually move. I'll admit, maybe a little too much of a difference from the original, but I still think it looks fine. It's still recognizable as Menasor. If you even notice, he even has the two towers here to kind of make it look like the original G1. But you can also fold out his panels, I guess, back here to kind of make it look a bit more like that. Oh, if you want the full look, you're going to just have to get it set. I also fold out Dragstripe's arms up like this to make it look a bit more solid. That's just me personally. So yeah, I think they look pretty cool. You can also take Dead in here and just fold that up to give him more of a shoulder blade. Same thing with Wild Rider. Same thing with when you have Wild Rider and Breakdown as the arms, which I will show you your configuration in a moment. I didn't really show it with Superion because he kind of just looks the same, but Menasor does look a bit different when you switch them around, mostly because of Dragstripe here. And I'll also go show the configuration for the legs as well. As far as articulation goes with the current setup, Optimus Prime and Menasor here are the only ones that have a ball jointed head in combined mode, so you can actually look up. And he can look all around, because Brewkiss and Defensor don't have it either, so these are the only two molds that get the ball jointed head. Or the only molds, since they are the same mold, just different. A lot of remolding. So yeah, that's pretty nice. He's also got a hinge so you can actually have him look down. Oh, he looks down to his chest plate, but still. Dead in here, and both Wild Rider as well. Pretty good joint going outward. Going outward it does work, but they might clink together here. So you just gotta be careful of that. You do get a swivel from the waist, get an elbow, and then the hand does the same thing as all of your hands. They can swivel because now they're pegged in. They do got a hinge here. You got a hinge, two hinges at the thumb. Lots of little stuff you can do with all that. Dragstrip is probably the best working for an arm, just because there's really nothing in the way of his. There's not much in the way of his shoulder. Well, except when it depends on how you configure the arms, really. But most of the time, you can kind of get it going. Going forward, and oh yeah, the shoulder kind of comes unlocked a lot, so you gotta kind of hold that when you're posing them. Goes forward just fine. Swivel works fine. Works as an elbow, and same thing with the hand. The waist is where we get interesting. This is one of the biggest complaints with Menasor. You do get a swivel, unlike pretty much all the air combiners. I don't think any other ones get a swivel. So you do get a swivel. The legs, you can see, are basically just Menasor's or Motormaster's legs kind of bent upward, but you can still use the joint to go forward. There's still some of the joint left to go outward. Not far, but enough. Makes you wish they had a pivot on the thing. So they do work. I'll admit that they're awkward and they don't look quite right, but they do work. As far as the knees go, they're exactly what you expect. All the knees work exactly the same, and you do get a swivel at the foot. I wish there was a pivot because you can actually make use of those hip joints, but unfortunately not. You're going to buy a third-party set for that. So yeah, all of his joints work pretty good, and I think he looks pretty dang good. And if you wish, you can also take with Dead in, Wild Rider, and Breakdown. You can have it kind of fold up to give him more of that G1 look. And if you fold his arm downward, swivel it like that, such, you can give him that more of a G1 aesthetic with that. Of course, it messes up his articulation, except with Breakdown, who has this weird swivels, but you can do that, and I have had him in that configuration before. So, let's get him all swapped around. Alright, I am having to hold him a bit because of how his legs are configured. I'll show you in a moment. First off, I'm really not going to articulation again. They're about the same, especially Wild Rider's just exactly the same as Dead End, just different colors. And Breakdown's about the same. I'm not going to go over articulation again. I'm just going to want to show how it looked. So you can see there's that. For these two, I am going to fold out the car hood to kind of give that shoulder blade look I was talking about. Same over here. Yeah, I am having to hold him up a bit because he is kind of heavy right now. So you can kind of give that, like, shoulder blade effect if you so wish. Wild Rider's head would stay in there. Yeah, for some reason, Dead and Wild Rider's head will pop out a lot. I don't know what's going on with that. So, let's talk about the legs. Basically, what I did is swap around the waist to where basically the back of Motormaster's legs are now the front of Menasor's legs. So how articulation works here is that now you don't need to move this piece. If you want to move the leg forward, you can just use Motor Master's knees. It also makes a much more solid looking leg. It makes them a bit taller too. And the swivel, of course, still works. And as far as the knee joint, it's still exactly the same, so... I'm surprised they didn't make this the official configuration. The only thing is it means his legs do have to be split slightly, which doesn't sound bad. Until you remember there's no ankle pivot, and these are meant to be flat feet. And the legs aren't able to come close enough because of how bulky the legs can be. Unless you do something like this. Which you can then get his legs to stand together next to each other, but it also looks really ridiculous. But you can give him the stand like that if you so wish. So yeah, if you're going to do this leg configuration, which I do recommend, you're probably going to get a third-party set. You can get him the stand. You can. You're just not going to get a lot of good poses without some better ankle joints. Oh, and that just popped off randomly. That's weird. Never had that one happen before. Apparently that does not hold on too well. So yeah, that's G2 Combined Wars Menasor. Pretty cool figure, lots of cool stuff going on. Oh, if I can get him to stand with this. This is not the toy's fault since he wasn't technically meant to stand like this. I usually have him leaning against the wall when I have him in this configuration. But there's really nothing to lean on here. You can also fold his flaps over to cover up his arm joints. And I do like how they did these connection joints. The whole sliding thing, because I have never had a problem with one of his joints sliding off, especially the arms since they're kind of holding themselves in by gravity. So yeah, overall, I do recommend this set. If you like the G2 aesthetic, I think he's worth it. And if you don't like the G2 aesthetic, get the normal Combined Wars version. That one's pretty cool too. So yeah, I like the set. I think he's worth the 40 bucks I paid for him at TJ Maxx. And as far as full set, I would say you can find for about $60 to $70 for the full set. That's a pretty good price too. So this has been Nerd Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this really long review, but there's really no other way I could have made it faster with how much I wanted to cover with it. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you decide whether or not you think this set is worth it. So, have a nice day.